Well, good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, October the 3rd. Hopefully this finds you doing well. Hopefully you subscribe to my channel, like my videos, feel free to share them, and click the bell for notifications. I'm going to talk today. I've been thinking a lot yesterday about something I watched. I think it was Friday. Highly respect Michael Zuber from One Rental at a Time, because he did share with me a market I'm investing in. So I always appreciate him for that. But sometimes I don't think he sees the big picture. I'm very well read. He called himself an economist, but he's never worked in that field. He worked in sales. That's like me calling myself an accountant, because I went to school and I studied accounting, but I'm not an accountant. I never worked in that field. So I'm not an accountant, just like he's not an economist. And I'm not an economist. I'm not a CPA. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a financial advisor, nothing like that. But I think it was his daily financial news on Friday, I believe, when he made a comment about saying he thinks that we're headed towards a recession. And it got me thinking, it got me doing some more reading and whatnot. And I think he's wrong. I'm not scared to say when someone's wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll admit it. We may be in recession in 3 months or 6 months. And you can all say, Mazske, you were wrong. That's fine. So, okay. But I don't think we are. Why? Because I made a video, a week or 2 or 3 ago about recession and growth. Remember that one? And one of the things, I can't remember everything I talked about in there. I took notes, but I didn't review my notes on that. But one thing I talked about was the illness that's out there, COVID. I'm not monetized, so they can't demonetize me. But then with that, I think we've passed a peak. We had the Delta variant. More folks have gotten vaccinated. More folks are being mandated to be vaccinated. Employers are starting to mandate it with threat of people losing their jobs, like a big airlines has done that. So more folks are getting vaccinated. Also, more folks have caught the Delta variant. More folks have died from it. So as folks die, it's kind of like survival of the fittest. We wean out certain segments of the population, which is not a good thing. Okay, don't take me the wrong way. It's not a good thing. No one should have died from this. And I've read enough to know that, say once the vaccines came out, if everyone had gotten a vaccine, we'd be done with this by now. But the anti-vaxxers, they're messing it up for the rest of us, even if they think, oh, I don't need to get the vaccine, I'm tough. But they're messing it up for everyone else. And they're the ones, they complain about masks, but that's why we're still wearing masks at times. Even here in Florida, where I hear Florida's opened up, but I look around and I see businesses that are not allowing people to come inside. And it's like, Florida's not open completely up. Yeah, it's open up somewhat, but it's not completely open back up. Anyway, I digress. I wasn't supposed to be talking about this. But anyway, why do I think we're not headed towards a recession? Here's the meat of the news. There's a lot of good things happening. Okay, I heard something recently about, if you go back in time, there were 3 things that came about more or less at the same time that was really, really big. And they were the telephone, electricity, and the automobile. They didn't come out exactly the same time, those 3, the telephone, electricity, and automobile, but the same general time period. They all, those 3 different things came out, and they changed the world. Literally, think about it. Telephone, electricity, and automobile. Can you imagine your life without a telephone, cell phone, electricity, or a car, a vehicle? And you can't. All right, so what do we have going on now? Besides the fact that this virus, we seem to have crossed over a hump and we're on the downward slide, and it will keep improving. As more folks will get vaccinated, it will keep improving, okay? And as we get through the winter and spring comes, eternal hope, springtime. All right, but what else is going on? Here are 5 things, and Kathy Wood said these 5 things, okay? And I have invested, I think, in all 5 over the past several decades at some point or another. So I know a little bit about each one. I'm not an expert at all, okay? But I know we're coming to fruition with these categories. All right, one is DNA sequencing. The area I came from, the Shenandoah Valley, Francis Collins, the DNA, he unraveled it, he decoded it. That's not the right term. Way back 20 years ago, roughly, all right? And I remember reading about it then, because he was a local boy. Who grew up. He's not a local man. He got the Medal of Honor, I believe, for doing that. And there was another company, a public company, that was doing the same thing at the same time. I had invested in them. Craig Venture, I think his name was. He was the CEO. I can't remember the name of the company, but I had an investment in them back 20 years ago. All right, so I followed DNA sequencing then. But then with DNA, what they're doing now, you can do a test. I did that because I think it's a swab test like that. You got different ones, Ancestry.com, 123, something or another, where you can check your DNA, looking at where you came from, your ancestors and that sort of thing. But anyway, the health angle of that, what they're figuring out, is astronomical. Okay, it's going to revolutionize the world in one way. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is robotics. Robotics are out there. I have a robot in my house. It's the Roomba, and my model came from, I think, 2014. Okay, and the robotics out there in 2021 are much better than they were in 2014. Okay, you look at, if you work in a factory, robotics are taking the place of workers in some points. They're automating things. If you go to a fast food restaurant, you will see robotics. Flippy, the burger flipper, the French fry thingamajigger. The Amazon warehouse. Look online at the Amazon warehouses. The robots taking place there. Look up the robotic dogs and whatnot. You know, how the jumping and the running and whatnot. I'm forgetting some of the company names. But robotics, they're here. They're in the homes now. They're spreading. They're growing. They're getting better and better. We're hitting mainstream. We're hitting full stride with this. All right. We also have energy storage. I don't know about this one quite as much, but I used to invest in Tesla. All right. Tesla was working on the Powerwall where you could store energy. I don't follow that as much as I used to because I don't invest in stocks as much as I used to. I need to get back into studying all of these companies more so, and I will. Because I have that background in electronics just a bit, which makes me dangerous because there's a little bit of knowledge there, which, you know, makes me dangerous to learn new stuff. But energy storage, as we can better, say as an example, I live in Florida. If I put solar in my house, when it's nighttime, the sun disappears, I lose that solar. But if we get storage, and this is at the individual home level, I can have enough power to make it through the night. I can have enough power to power my refrigerator. Maybe I'm charging my electric car. I don't have an electric car yet, but maybe I'm charging it. But if individuals are doing this at the home level, corporations and stores are doing this at the big level, it'll change things, okay? It's not going to happen overnight, all right? It's coming to fruition, but it's not going to like, boom, we flip a switch and there we are, okay? But the battery powers, the electric cars, all that kind of stuff, it's another big technological change that's coming. All right, something else, number 4, is artificial intelligence. It's here. I have nothing in this office besides my cell phone that has artificial intelligence. I won't say the key word. It's an Android phone. You know the word. I have I think I can say this without triggering something on my phone, the Google Nest. I have that in my bedroom, and I got a couple of them around the house. I have the Amazon Alexa. I got the original version back in 2015. It still works fine. That's how I play my music in the house, usually with that. Vehicles are adopting some of this technology. And this is just one segment of artificial intelligence. You have virtual reality artificial intelligence. I don't follow it as much as I used to, but I was investing in it several years ago. Technology hasn't gone backwards, it's progressing forward. So artificial intelligence, as good as it was 2, 3, 4 years ago, it is that much better now. It is another technological force that is coming to fruition. All right, number 5 is blockchain. You hear a lot of the hype about Bitcoin. You hear about Bitcoin and Dogecoin and all this kind of stuff. People invest in it. I have not invested in it. Why? There's no substance behind it. It's volatile. People think the stock market is volatile. Cryptocurrency is more volatile. I agree, cryptocurrency is here to stay. But blockchain, I've said in some other video, I think I've deleted that video, but I've said, if I wanted to invest in this field, I would probably try to invest in blockchain, what I call the infrastructure of it. All right. Once we get the blockchain, back up just a bit. Once we have the internet infrastructure, it changed the world. The blockchain infrastructure will change the world. The cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin's big enough it may stay. Dogecoin may not. Ethereum may stay. And I don't know the ins and outs of Ethereum. But other digital currencies may come. Others may go. Okay. But the blockchain will be what will stay. It's the infrastructure. All right. So I said 5 different things there: DNA, robotics, energy storage, artificial intelligence, and blockchain. All right. What is happening is during this pandemic, service economy employees, a lot of them stayed home. They got unemployment. They stayed home. They collected unemployment. They made more money than they would at their job. The jobs are moving on. Automation. My green tea had her get towards the bottom of the cup there, but the automation. Some of these fast food restaurants, I think, are automating more so than they were 18 months ago. And so as the pandemic passes, some of these employees will be trying to get their jobs back, and a lot will. So they'll go back to work, but there's more automation taking place. So some of them may lose their jobs. As humans, if we're workers and you have children, let's say, don't raise them to live on the system. Don't raise them to work service economy jobs. Get them a math science type education, because the world will need people with that brain power to do that. Okay, so we may lose some of those workers. They may be perpetually unemployed. Service economy, as time goes on, as more automation occurs, but wages have gone up, right? And you hear talk about inflation. Wages have also gone up as these technological, the progress is being made, and the folks who work in those jobs, the increased automation, we will have higher productivity from the jobs than we used to with less workers, but the workers are getting paid more. So even if we have inflation, we got the segment of society working is moving up. So we will keep growing. I don't think, and I'm not an economist, I don't think we have a recession coming. Okay, I think we're going to have more growth coming. All right, for how long? I don't know. It could be 10 years, it could be 20 years. I don't know. It could be 2 days. I don't know. Okay, we may go into have a recession, but progress will keep moving forward. And as it moves forward, it's up to us to move along with it. Now, my kids may see this one day and say, well, Dad, you're not an expert on your cell phone like we are, because I didn't, my arthritis perhaps is setting in. I'm not quite as good as the younger generation is, but I'm not talking about that. I am very knowledgeable about various kinds of technology. I don't work in that field. I used to be an electronics technician, but I don't work in that field. I'm an investor. All right. So this channel may blow up one day. It may not blow up one day. But I dare say, even if I had 1 million followers, all 1 million followers will not be investing like I am. There's only a small segment of society that invest. And us YouTubers, we're not going to change that. We may help those who have that mindset to invest. We may help them to plant the seed to get them going. But it's not going to spread to the masses, not anytime soon. Okay? So for us investors, we need to have a working knowledge of the technology, stuff that's going on. Have a working knowledge. And I've talked about energy storage, but you might have also heard me talk about oil. I'm investing in oil and mineral rights. Why? Because this energy storage is not going to happen overnight. Yes, it's a big deal. Yes, it's happening. Yes, as the years go on, 2025, 2030, we will see a much larger percentage of energy in the form of renewable sources like solar and wind,